Welcome back, everybody. Tim and I are going to continue our uh, reimagining of content layer with effect. Where did we leave off? I don't remember.
We got the documents outputting to disk.
That's right. That's right.
Currently, they're just JSON files.
So I forget. We had talked briefly the last time we met about what the next steps should be, and I don't remember what that was either. Do you remember what we said?
I think the logical next step is so we've got the JSON files, then we need to turn those into modules that you can use in your project. And we also need to generate the types.
That's right. Let me see if I can find, maybe while you pull up your editor, I'll see if I can find the hacked together version of like a type generator that I had written a long time ago.
We need some better logs. So in the document builder, I'm going here building documents. I'm going to effect on match here. Match cause effect on success. We do so we have success login. We can't really say how many documents we're going to build because we evaluate the sources in the stream. But that's fine. There we go. Documents build. Build. And if we go stream dot tap, interesting.
Okay. I think I found it.
Yes.
It is a hot mess, but it worked in a previous version of Schema, so we can maybe look at it for inspiration.
Maybe here we go, effect dot timed. Effect dot timed, and then in here we'll have duration. Finish round to duration dot format. I feel it's going to be too precise. That's awesome.
I want to know how many nanoseconds it took you to build. Oh
I
man,
feel
that's
like
good.
developers will appreciate it.
I think so.
The nanoseconds.
You got to
Very
know
important.
very precisely how many milliseconds and nanoseconds it took you to build these documents.
Yeah. So we want to add modules now. So we look at the output generated. We have a bunch of JSON files. And I guess we want to import them into like an index.js. Index.js here. And that just goes what would it do? What does Contentlayer do? So I don't have to think about it. Website
I'm gonna send
generated
you
blog
two
post.
files.
So it creates the index.mjs and index.json. What the heck is the index.json? It's just an array of everything. Interesting. Interesting that it's not using the index.json here, but instead importing every module.
Say that again, Tim. Sorry, I was sending you the files.
So in the output, there's this index.json, which is an array of all these. But in the index.mjs, he's importing everything anyway.
I don't know. Maybe it was added as a feature later.
Maybe.
We could start hacking on on the type generator, and then move on to the module generator because we're gonna have to generate both type definitions for the schemas, and then we're also gonna have to generate like the module structure. But maybe we can I feel like the type definitions are gonna be the harder thing. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Don't judge. Don't judge me for the code you're about to read.
Using writer make map append.
Yeah,
So
there's
is this
probably
to generate TypeScript?
yeah. So the in a much older version of the project that I had been working on myself. Here I can just steal the screen from you for a second. So in a much older version of this, oops. Um, the writer in here is basically just used to like accumulate stuff, and then this TypeScript thingy, is the thing that actually traverses the AST. But the way it looks when it's finished, was something like this, you'd end up with like let me just make the terminal a little bigger. You'd end up with like a generated type that
Mm-hmm.
looks like this. And it preserves like the descriptions and stuff for the fields, so that like you end up getting that in the generated type definitions. So I mean, we could use this as a starting point, but it's probably not valid anymore because the AST has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, the idea is that as you're traversing the AST, you're basically creating um, TypeScript nodes, and then adding them to the writer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then some of those type nodes may also have declarations that are associated with them. So yeah, I mean, we don't have to use the writer module. This was just the way I chose to do it originally, but um, yeah, because like I guess like a single type node could have multiple other nodes associated with it. So anyway, um, so I'll stop sharing and let you share. But that was kind of like the idea that I had when I originally did this. Stop sharing.
I
And it
wonder
works
if
pretty
we
well.
can use our config file somehow, because that already has all the types we need in it, including the types for the source. Because if we were going to use the AST, do the AST thing, then we need to, our source will also need to provide an AST for the metadata, because we add the metadata to the JSON. And currently it's type level only. It's not a schema.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I'm not sure because the Contentlayer config file can theoretically import from anywhere. So you basically have to like create a
Hmm.
TypeScript project.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, add
let's
that
try the
file to it.
AST thing first. Uh,
So what was the
okay.
limitation that you mentioned? What was the problem with like just with generating the types from the AST? Like what would be missing?
We currently don't have an AST for, so we look at the generated content. No, that's not right. Post, this guy. So we can do this one, but we don't have an AST for this section right now.
Mm.
But we can look to add a schema to sources.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. Because then we could reuse the type generator.
Yeah. Well, if we for source, uh, type, there we go. So I guess for now, just being a pick service. Okay, so this server. Okay, so the type builder will take a document config and then return a TypeScript AST. I guess we'll just copy your code from Discord.
Don't judge me, everyone.
Download.
Yeah, this was code I wasn't very proud of at the time that I wrote it, but
That worked.
it worked.
I guess we'll just paste it down here for now. Move that up there. What does writer do?
Um, so the writer is a way to basically have a way to like accumulate values over time. But I would say like it might be better for us to figure out a way not to use the writer because like I think it just introduces overhead. But the idea is that like a type node can have many like other nodes inside of it, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that we can figure out a better way to represent this.
Document schema.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was. I can actually look.
Identify not found.
And I think like I originally stole the code, the first version of all of this from Julio,
Yeah.
but had to adapt it for an AST that was totally different, which is basically what we're doing now.
We need to add TypeScript to our project. Or add TypeScript. Okay. Let's get rid of this.
I also think that I was using effect in places that I didn't need to because
Okay.
I anticipated having to do something asynchronous, but then ended up not having to. I think I can't remember. I honestly can't remember.
Looks like writer was effectful. It was using a ref.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Uh, I think Go should just accept a node. Writer takes a value. It produces a read-only array of ts.node. Anyway, so we come here, we get a literal, we create a node for that thing, then return it. Does TypeScript? I think TypeScript is completely synchronous. So I think, yeah, we
And
can just.
it is. It is. That's why I think I wasn't sure if I was going. I know I was using a ref internally, but I also think I wasn't sure if I was going to be handling transformations, and then I decided
Right.
no.
The AST is just a static thing.
Yeah,
Uh, but we do have some errors here.
maybe
We can
we.
just throw those.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the things we could do is start with like the simpler nodes in the AST and figure out
Yeah.
like basically like on the simplest level of the node, like for the simplest nodes, what do we want the return type to look like, and then we can like work our way up from there.
So here we would just change that to return.
Ugh. Is literal? Why did I do it this way? Maybe I just didn't want to have another switch statement.
Um, well, what else is on here? AST dot literal value.
I just meant I could have probably had like another switch statement instead of all of this stuff, but
Yeah, you could go up a little.
all right, JPT, let's go.
It's good for that kind of stuff. Um, and then this is the default case. Unique symbol. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There also may be like AST nodes that are not or are present now that we're not handling yet, so we'll have to figure
Yeah,
that out as well.
I feel like we don't want symbols in the type because you can't JSON. You can't put symbols in JSON.
Yep,
Now,
it's
we'll get with this.
true. Um,
And also, we'll be targeting the encoded type of the AST.
will
So,
we?
yeah, because the JSON is the encoded version of the fields.
But the type that we're
Uh, yeah,
type
because
that we're
we won't be decoding the fields at all because you'll be reading them straight from the disk. Otherwise, you have to do another trip through Contentlayer somehow.
yeah, I thought we were
Okay.
decoding them.
That means we're going to need to access the schemas again somehow. So we're going to have to import the config.
Well, let's think about this for a sec. I think that the idea with like the types that we're generating is that this is going to go in that like generated package, right? That then you can just like import the JSON from.
Yeah.
So to your point, you're right. It is going to have to be the encoded side
Mhm.
because because it has to be.
Do we want to work around that? Wondering if you had a schema that use the transformation like big decimal. Hmm. Oh, we'll work with encoded types for now.
Yeah, because when okay, so the original content layer config comes in and it reads from the source, right? But then we have to re-encode whatever we read from the source and spit it back out to disk. And people are going to be directly importing that. So then there's no way to go through content layer again in that case, because you're literally directly importing the values.
Yeah.
So we have to, so we have to use the encoded side. You're right.
Yeah, we'll just continue with that assumption for now. Otherwise, you'll need to re-import the config somehow and use the Contentlayer API.
Yeah. I don't think that's like the user experience we're going for. So I agree. Upon further reflection, I agree with you that we're targeting the encoded.
So 4 symbols, we'll just ignore them. Undefined keyword is void. Never. Probably should have recorded a macro by this stage. How many more of this have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, let's do it. Enums. So we get the identifier.
We're probably gonna have to like unaffectify it, or this returns an option, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot we even had option.gen.
Yeah, that's quite useful. D equals get identifier. DS dot factory dot create identifier. Then we got our members of the enum type node declaration.
Yeah, so the type nodes, the reason why those exist is because, like, let's say you have a container type, like, I don't know, the example I had, there's like a blog post, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that there's an enum as a field of that blog post. You have to generate the enum and export it like separate from the container type, which is the reason why you can accumulate declarations as you're also generating type nodes, because the declarations are top level and they have to be exported, right?
Got up.
So that was kind of like that was
Yeah.
yeah. So that was the reason why I was using, I guess, writer. I'm remembering these things now, but there's definitely like better ways to do this.
Template literal.
Yeah, the template literal type has changed, I think, if I remember correctly. Like, or the AST might have changed. Uh, I can't remember. So
So
there's
we're
the
at the end, it's got spans.
okay. So
And then
then
we're
maybe this
handling
is
the
still valid.
spans in the end.
I think this might maybe this is still valid then.
There. Yeah, we just want the encoded side here. Tuple.
Yeah, so what do we want to do with the tuple? We want to go over its elements.
ST neither. ST is never. That's it.
Is tuple not a thing
This
anymore?
not a thing anymore. Tuple
Oh,
down.
tuple type. Of course.
So here's res elements. So here we're going over every element and then recursing into the type. Getting the node optional.
Yeah, because on a tuple type you can make the node
Yeah.
optional. You could probably just do this to declare imperatively.
We can use .NET. At that point, we've got an option. So we'll need to filter map. No. Nope.
You can just compact here, right?
Oh, filter map.
Filter map, compact, either way.
Go .5 option .map. So here we've got our type node, and then we just do the second thing.
I think we actually, check the element, if the element's optional, and then make the type node. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So here we have an array of type nodes, and we make the tuple. And what is this doing? Carrying a tuple node with the elements. ST is usually and I'm guessing this is a function because it's recursive. Make tuple. Nope. Oh, yeah. Function is on st.rex. Still creating default node. ASD. Where's the ST coming from?
I don't remember what's going on here. If there's a res property,
um, argument of type. Read-only array is not assignable to non-empty. Oh. Why is that not assignable to AST? Typed up type.
ah, yes, the old typed up type.
Okay. Um, Looks like TypeScript's having troubles refining the types here. So, not sure why it's asking me to move this.
Probably have
No,
an
and
ESLint. Probably have an ESLint rule enabled in here because this is a older ESLint config.
so we got an urge. type node is read only. Else.
Honestly, don't remember what's going on in this if else statement.
I don't
At
know
some
really
point,
what's going on.
I knew what was going on in here, but not now.
So it's either an array or a tuple with like a spread.
Maybe it was yes, I think. I think we're differentiating here between whether or not it's a, like you said, a tuple with a spread or a tuple with a spread at the beginning and the end. Like, I think we're differentiating where the spread operator is in the tuple.
And we need the tail. Uh,
I think you have to slice it and then map it.
we have unsafe tail.
Yeah, but I think that you're gonna end up having to map over the rest elements.
Maybe if we you know, and then the type should narrow properly. Oh,
Yeah, like
ST the type narrowing isn't working. Yeah, that works.
for the tail though, don't we need to take the full tail? Because right now we're just taking this last element. Doesn't tail take the from one
Oh,
through the
yeah.
end?
Yeah, it's a slice.
I think we need to slice and then go.
So it would be array SC dot rest dot slice one array dot commit element go element dot type. So it was the head and the tail. We make a tuple of the element. Is that just a fancy way of going that?
Basically.
Right.
But I don't remember what like. I don't think we're taking into account elements here. What was elements doing in that
This
flow
is
statement?
just handling the case when we have rest.
Yeah, but
Returning.
did you show that that flow statement again? It was piping elements into a flow. You see?
So elements. The pipe.
And I guess that's what we're
And then
doing.
appending. So it's got elements in here.
I honestly don't remember. I'm sorry, Tim. I think so. I think that is correct. I think it's taking the elements.
Elements need to be piped though. Is it an option?
Let me pull it up in my editor since I still have the types working.
If I just go downloads, type in.
And so,
Elements. So just traverse return option. Traverse returns in effect. So it's just being lazy.
yeah, I think it is basically what you said, taking elements, appending the head, and then appending the tail to it.
Okay.
But I guess we'll see through testing.
And here we just go and make tuple elements. Option some type literal. For every property signature, we get a type node. Property signatures. Array.filter map. Signature go signature.type. .NET node. Edge documentation. So here we have our index signatures, which is where am I? D signatures. And then we do the same for the index signatures. Array not filter map. Signature parameter and signature.type. Parameter type. Product. What is product?
I think it just puts them into a tuple.
Okay. Modifiers.
I wonder what X is there. I'm gonna create parameter declaration.
Hmm. Modifiers.
The name.
Dot token. Name. Question token. Do we not have the name here? What is
It's weird.
key?
So
Can I
key was
find?
the parameter node, I believe.
But it's a string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth parameter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Type node.
Yeah, I believe it's the type node in this case. I believe it is the parameter node, and then the index signature is the as the value gets the type node. There's a lot of like data that I'm not propagating here, like um, that we probably could propagate, but
Alright, so with the property signatures and the index signatures, we append them together. The return option dot sum. Here start. Union. Yeah, I feel like this writer was making it quite noisy.
yeah, there was a method to my madness, I assure you, but I don't remember what it was.
Members equals array dot filter map. Go. And then we go suspend transformation. What are we missing? Nothing.
So this was more part of like a test. The final piece here, like we need to basically get the name of the schema that we create somehow. Uh, so yeah, I hadn't gotten that far with all the rest of this yet.
So if I type node, document type.
Don't remember why there's an if true there, but
That's, that's a funny thing.
I told you not to judge me.
Yep, I missed it. Missed the part. ID. Then for the type parameters, We turn them into params. So let's do that. We go array dot filter map dot parameters. Do we need to push that into declarations here?
What's the writer doing? I'm sorry. I'll actually look at my own code. Hang
There we
on.
go.
I don't think so. This is a type reference node that it's making.
Okay.
So it should be just a. It's not a
We
declaration. It's just referencing it to it.
just need to
Okay.
return this one.
Mhm. If true. I think I was like trying to figure out like what the if condition was going to be to add documentation from a schema to like the final type. I also, if you notice, hard coded the identifier blog post there. So I think I was like starting to try to figure out like, okay, I've got my type literal, my final type
So
defined.
here
Now,
it would use the document description and the document name.
yeah. So we may need to take in more information than just the AST. We might need to take in like the full document. I'm not sure yet.
Document. Document. Maybe document was, and the description was optional.
This was probably at a time uh when
Ah, yes, it's an option.
this was probably like I probably wrote this at a time when document was defined like completely different. This was, I mean, I wrote this months ago.
Okay, I think we are type checking now.
If it type checks, it works. So let's test it.
Yeah.
Wow, access service M. Throwback.
I guess we're gonna throw that in here. Render. Well, I guess we don't even need a service for this.
Yeah, we don't need the error either. Like a lot of this stuff doesn't need to be in here anymore. Even being like a utilities or a lib folder. Or it could be even in the document folder.
We can just leave that in this module.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's whatever.
So let's test that in document builder, I guess. So here in config, document.
Yeah, we could tap into the stream and just try rendering the document and see what happens.
I don't want it once per config. Dot,
Also, I'm pretty sure we have somewhere a utility that formats durations a little more prettily.
I don't just want to be rendering the types in parallel. So if we go add process here, this will be render JSON.
You know where it is? It's on the website's code base. Here we go.
Let's render types. No, it can just be effect doesn't. Render types. Render JSON.
Wait, is it gonna just? Isn't it still gonna just? Oh, excuse me. Isn't it still gonna just render the type synchronously?
Yeah, we will need to write them to disk eventually.
There.
Is type
A builder.
builder. No, we just do a good old component log. Type builder. Render document.
Rusty console.log.
Oh, we do need the document. Never mind. Stream.let types. This would be type builder. Render document. Mm,
And the option is questionable, but the post type looks good.
yeah, the first time I get.
I think it's probably just the way I'm adding documentation is probably completely wrong now.
Yeah. Yeah, so the post type looks good. I wonder, do
Should
we
we
want to use an
export it as a type?
interface?
I was about to say, like, we might want to just use an interface. I know Johannes had previously used types so that on hover you get the non-opaque version, but I kind of feel like you might want the opaque version.
I think type is fine. Let's try fix the docs.
Yeah, I think there's just something wrong with add JS doc.
The posts.
Again, type builder.
I'll get rid of that. Just so it's not missing with us.
So somewhere where it would be at the very bottom in this case, where I'm doing the add.js doc thing.
Create source file print.ts.
Yeah, you have to give it a name.
Okay.
So
So it's down here.
yeah,
Print node document type. Node options.
it's I think the
Was that
document
this one?
description. Yeah, go to the js.com and see what I'm doing there. Something here is fishy.
Documentation. Does that get rid of it? Yeah. So it is here. Okay. So
It's interesting.
the fishy thing that's happening in the
It was
document type.
it was our fault, not mine. Still
Document.
mine. Like now me, not previous me.
Description. Make
Oh yeah,
internal description.
that's done.
Oh, here we go.
It was my fault, probably.
Yeah, we just want it in this one. And now if we go back to type builder and just save.
Hmm.
So it's because we need to build.
Right. And I sent you a snippet for the format duration that we use on like the website if you want to use that one instead.
I remember writing that.
Yeah, I stole it from somewhere. I don't remember. I know you wrote it, I just don't remember where I stole it from. Might have been the first iteration of the playground.
Yeah, I don't remember. T6, watch the posts. Okay. Do we
Yeah.
have types? I guess we want to accumulate all of those and put it in a single file somewhere. Do we?
I think that's what the current content layer does, and I think that's
Yeah.
probably fine. I mean, the
Okay.
alternative is emitting a separate type declaration file for every single schema.
Mm.
But I feel like if the content layer config changes, we're going to re-emit all the types anyways, because the types are based off the schemas, not off the documents. So there's really no way to cache it. So
Yeah.
having a single file is fine.
Um, so we don't really want it in the stream. We kind of just want to do a tap here. We want to track all the types. So the easy way of doing that is just going We don't even need to do it here, actually. Render docs. Render docs. Put a concurrency. So the types are per configuration. Let's render types. So we build all the types of every single document, and then we write it to a single file somewhere. Types equals config.documents.map. Type builder.render. And then we need to persist it. What are we doing for the JSON here?
I think we have a generic storage
All
service.
right.
This is document storage, I guess.
It's fine. We'll do it here for now. Only array of string.
Once we finish this,
Directory.
I was gonna say once we finish this up, Tim, I probably have to head out.
Go. Some TS.
Guess, yeah, we don't know if the path is gonna exist.
No, we don't yet. We are that, and then here we just go types dot join. Then storage types. We just pause that and look in content layer generated types. What do we got? The posts.
Hey,
Cool.
all right. So my hacky writer was not the word, even though it was terrible code. At least it got us here.
Yeah, there was some gold amongst the coal.
Cool. This is great. So I guess the next thing now that we have types being generated is probably to assemble like a package structure so that we can create the phantom package. Right.
Stream. We need to create modules.
We need to also create the phantom package.
Create phantom package. Maybe we'll move that to a to-do file. To create modules, create phantom. Well, it's not really a phantom package, it's just a package.
It's a package, but I don't know if it's gonna. I forget.
Create. You need to create some declaration files. That declare the modules.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cool. Well,
add to dos. Push.
I hope that everybody enjoyed our stream today. We'll try to. So next week I think is a holiday. Maybe we can reorganize which day we actually stream, Tim. But I'll touch
Yep.
base with you offline about that.
Cool.
For now, everybody have a great evening and cheers, everyone.
See ya.